Hola.
After this very interesting and fun presentation, we want to invite Fernando Sarmiento, IT Director of the Public Secretariat of Veracruz. We will hear about a real-life case scenario, how the use of GeneXus help to improve the security of the state of Veracruz, which generates more than 8% of GDP from Mexico. Welcome, Fernando.
Bueno, estamos...
Are we ready?
Bienvenido, Fernando.
Welcome, Fernando. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Fernando Sarmiento. I thank you for the invitation. Thank you for your time. I come from the Secretariat of Public Security of the Veracruz state in Mexico, and I will tell you about a practical case of how GeneXus has helped the police department to achieve intelligent protection. First of all, to put this in context, I will tell you what Veracruz is, where it is located in Mexico. This is where it is geographically located. These are some statistics. It produces 5.4% of GDP. It grew 5.7%. If compared with the rest of the country, it's a state that has every type of energy that's being produced in Mexico. We have 22 out of 60 sugar-making factories. It is a state with the highest cattle breeding production, 7.5 millions. 1 every 4 kilograms of food consumed in Mexico is produced in Veracruz. That is 25%. I can also say that Veracruz has 720 kilometers of coast, 3 ports, which are Veracruz, and we also have 5 petrochemical complexes. We have been more than 2 years without any strikes. This is the 3rd largest population in Mexico. We have the 3rd largest police in Mexico. About this, I will tell you about the background for this so that we can see the needs or the problems that we have dealt with. Some 4 or 5 years ago, this is how we used to work with obsolete equipment, insufficient, inadequate equipment. Just take a look at the electrical facilities we had. This is how we worked in the police. It was impossible to work with computers there if we didn't even have electricity. In terms of infrastructure, this wasn't much difference. Buildings didn't have roof, doors. Sometimes policemen would eat from in the floor. These were our computers 5 years ago. We couldn't even have tablets. We were having those type of computer screens. A strong problem in terms of public security was criminal activity inside the police department. What did we do first? We sort of cleaned the police department. We had to discharge half of the policemen that we had. So what did we have to do? We had to train new policemen from our police academy. Anyway, we still have a gap in terms of our police officers. Mr. Arturo Bermudez said that in order to face this problem, we need to dignify the policeman as a person so that he feels better with better equipment that is sufficient. In terms of infrastructure, we need to have headquarters where policemen live in a better way. This is the police academy that's located in the capital. This is the basis, because this is where a person comes when he wants to become a policeman, and this is a place that he first sees. These facilities need to be dignified. This is also related to the structure, to a better organizational structure. We created new groups such as the social proximity group. Those are policemen that are on the street dealing with citizens' requests. We have integrated other areas, which are prisons, 17 prisons, 76 transit delegations, 7 transport delegations. So it was a kind of a little monster that we created. We also gave policemen a lot of benefits. More than 400 are providing discounts to policemen and their families only by presenting their ID cards. In terms of training, we showed them how to work, how to use the tools that we gave them, their computers, their weapons, their patrol cars. We have made agreements not only at a national but also at an international level. In terms of tools, who do we need to give these tools? 13,500 policemen. We have worked with more than 3,000 administrative policemen with 2,500 computers, 130 communications links, ADSL, optic fiber, wireless communications, and we are managing around 50 systems, both administrative and operational. What do we want to achieve by this? We want them to be willing to work. We want them to like the place they work. And we want them to have the tools for performing their job. In terms of technology, we have had some achievements. For example, the collaboration of information on the cloud. This is provided to different officers. They have their iPad so that they can download information on real time. Those clouds are fed by all the offices from the state which are giving information. Then we have internet access through wireless networks. We have linked offices so that they have higher bandwidth in order to transmit more information. And also, since this is the infrastructure from the state, they don't have to pay for that. Second, technological training to more than 3,000 policemen. As Pablo said, policemen come from their cities and they don't even know how to move their mouse, what it means when the arrow goes up or down. They are given basic IT courses, Windows, Excel, PowerPoint, how to send an email, how to search over the internet. This is a basic course that they receive for 2 or 3 months. And there's also a system for querying data in police cars, where they are behind one vehicle, they see license plates, they enter the name of the number of the license plate, and just by doing that, they know who it belongs to, etc. Today, we want to talk about development with GeneXus. Why GeneXus? As Luis Alberto said, we have a monster of needs, a monster of problems, a monster in terms of the number of people. And we don't have a lot of time, and we need things urgently, and we need to provide very quick solutions. So what did we do with GeneXus? We realized that it was giving us a very fast solution, both because it is multi-platform, so I don't have to develop for different devices. I just do it once. An example, a couple of examples. First, it is the prison registry. It's a simple register of the people with general information, pictures that are stored, left profile, right profile. These are mugshots, all the tattoos and different marks that they have, fingerprints of all the inmates. We have a database. This is a biometric database that is created. We create statistics, the number of inmates, and this is for further reports and for further decision making. This is something that is very important in terms of people who visit prisons, because someone can be visiting an inmate very frequently. This same person can come tomorrow to the police academy and request to be a policeman. What happens if they are becoming infiltrated in the police? And sometimes we want to know with whom that person has been in contact with. So this reduces the risk of aliens getting into our police corps. We also have general data on visitors, their pictures. We also record who the person is visiting, if they are family, if they are friends, plus other data. And likewise, visitor also needs to provide a fingerprint. Two things by doing this. One, the visitor cannot access the prison system if he doesn't provide a fingerprint. Sometimes he says, I am so-and-so, and then I change my name, or I say that I want to visit another prisoner. So by providing my fingerprint, I cannot change that. By this, I'm also feeding the database for visitors. So I am now having two sources of information, pictures and fingerprints. This is very important. 2 or 3 years ago, the police boss of the Jalapa department said, we don't have a system for comparing fingerprints, but we don't have another database to cross-reference those data. Why are you saying this? Yesterday, there was a bank robbery, and I was given this fingerprint, and I was told that whether I can find it in all my documents, but all I have is paper with ink. So I spent all night trying to compare this fingerprint against fingerprints in paper. After 15 or 30 minutes, all fingerprints look pretty much the same, so that's useless. So this source of information that we are creating, there are many other systems, but we are creating this one in terms of fingerprints and pictures. Mobile application. This is a very good application. Maybe this could be a legacy of this part of technology. This is the result of the governor telling the Secretary of the State that he wants us to support the change of perception of citizens have when they think of policemen. So in terms of technology, we started changing the web page, pictures, changing colors to make it look nicer. We also created this tool so that citizens feel closer to the police, so that they see the reports. And I will get into more detail. I will do this from my phone. The application is created. Could you please switch this to my phone?
Bien, esta aplicación en
This application in 4 or 5 weeks, when we will finish providing training to the different people. This will be for Android and iOS, both for Android. Smartphones are for tablets. I will click on the icon. The main screen has 10 modules. First, we worked in the graphic design and in the user interface. If this looks nice, then I will try to use it, and I will try to learn to use it faster. So first of all, there needs to be a good user experience with this application. Of course, it needs to be useful too. So I will start with the first module. This phone is directly connected to the database and servers in Veracruz. That is why it's taking a little bit of time. Here I can send a report, a complaint to the secretariat without having to go with a paper, obtaining a stamp, and then going back in 2 weeks to see whether that has been solved. This time, date, type of request. I clicked there. I will choose from a catalog of requests. According to our experience, we might change this menu or update it. As you can see, there are different types of requests. There are doubts, reports, complaints. I will now choose report. The description, I will cut and paste. Maybe a car was stolen. Location, by default, I will receive the location of the phone. But if I saw the robbery and I don't want to file a complaint right now, I can go back home and change the location. I just zoom in where I think the incident happened, and then I click. It updates the location. I can add a picture of the event. And finally, I can also send my request anonymously. If I want to complain about a policeman, I'm not going to give my name, but if I have a sudden doubt, then I will be willing to give my email and my name so that I receive follow-up on that. Now this is sending the information. As you can see on top, I will receive an email to the email address I have provided with a folio number plus a password or a secret code, and I will be able to access that from the web page in order to follow up on that. It's still working there. I will be able to see whether this was received by the Access Information Unit, if it was transferred to another area, and I will be able to see what process this is in. I think this is taking too long because we are here in Uruguay.
Le di enviar.
Send. Since it is working through GPS with its location, it's probably taking too long because we are very far from Veracruz. This is probably because of the Wi-Fi. I will go back. Then I continue with the next module, which is policeman in your city. This means this is intended for me to know which policeman is near my vicinity. Now I get this location as being Montevideo because wherever the phone is, this is the location that is shown. As you can see there, you can see delegations from Veracruz. I will pick any other as an example.
Tardó un poquito.
Well, it took a while. This is the screen that you obtain after sending the request. A folio number, secret number, plus a page to check this on the web page. I will choose one group, for example, Perote. In the map, this will show the location where the delegation or the police department is. I will see what the chief of the police department is, his email. I can send an email from here and the address. So I will be able to know the names of the different police chiefs in the state. Next tab. This is about all the security tips in order to prevent crime. One is shoplifting, robbery on the street. For example, women who are on the street, they need to make sure that they don't have their bags with them because sometimes people, criminals go in motorcycles, and sometimes their bags are stolen. So we recommend them to put their bags on the other side of the street. How can we prevent all these crimes? This is one of the most used icons. This is about paying fines, traffic fines. Sometimes I get a ticket with a number, and from my phone I can put my license plate, and I can see the history for the fines that have been paid, the tickets that have been paid or which are not paid. From here I can even pay. And it will show all the general data about that traffic ticket, the description, what article of the Constitution I am not complying with, and the amount of money that I have to pay. We will never show the data from the owner of the vehicle, where he lives or how many cars he owns. I will only see this information for security reasons. Then the bank will do all the financial transaction. The public secretariat is not the one that receives the money. And once I check this back, I will see whether it was paid or not. Very soon this will be useful for me to see with the finance secretary, which is the one that collects taxes on vehicles. I will be able to see a list of all the tickets that I have paid for, or the ones that are not paid. Once my vehicle is taken and it is left at a warehouse, I won't be able to regain use of my vehicle if I don't pay for that. We also have cameras in warehouses so that I can see a camera and see where my vehicle is and where it is stored. Then we have the road map. It's Uruguay here, but I will get back to Mexico. This road map is the official version of road incidents. Do you know Waze? This is a public version. Anyone can be uploading information about road incidents, but this is sort of the official version because we want traffic officers to get there to see that an accident has happened and so that he can enter that into the system, or if it has already happened, that is erased from the system. For example, in this case, in a certain street in Mexico, an accident has happened, so that anyone can avoid that place where there are bottlenecks, demonstrations, public works being carried out, bicycle lanes, etc., so that you can avoid those areas. Traffic views are following, and this is... Let me get back to Veracruz. This is because I have a specific route that I use for going to work from home. And this is for me to have an overview of the traffic on the street. These are not C4 cameras. These are cameras that allow me to see the number of vehicles, but I cannot see the faces nor the license plates. One feature of this is that it is updated every 4 minutes. Images are not uploaded on real time because if there's a traffic incident, if there's a crime incident where someone has died, we don't want to show those pictures so that it doesn't become a source of information for the press or for yellow press. I can see that on a list or I can see it on a grid. Then I can also add which will be my favorite so that I select what cameras I'm most interested in. Then we have the Amber Alert. These are the notices about minors being missing at a national level. I can see where a minor has been missing, the picture, general data, age, height, specifics, how he or she was dressed when she went missing, and then there's a phone in case I have something to report. Here, this has a very good function that is clicking push, where if you enter a new report of a missing minor, everyone who has this application on the cell phone will receive an alert, just like WhatsApp or something like that. once this information becomes more quickly updated, we will be able to very quickly locate a minor that went missing, maybe on around the corner or on a shopping mall. I will be able to send a report. Most wanted, these are the criminals that are wanted. I can see why they are being wanted. In this case, this was minor abuse, and there's a phone in order to file any claims. Services. In my case, I asked 2 or 3 people if they knew where they could obtain their license, driving license, how much it would cost, and what time they could do that, and nobody knew that. So this is good for citizens. Here you can see where you can visit someone that is on a prison, what family members can visit, requirements, how I have to dress, the time for the proceeding, the cost. This will allow me to know what proceedings are paid, then the different offices, locations, and even I can even file a complaint here. There are different phone numbers. Then I have a last module here where I can pick any of the 17 centers. And this is to know where a certain prison is located in a geographic map, who the director of that establishment is, phone, email, and the visiting times. On the left, I can click and it will show me a route within the map that shows me how to arrive by car or how to if I go walking. Then we have privacy policies, web page, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube channel. Additional to this, we have the back office. The back office is in each office that has this information. That's very important because this is only 50% of the whole thing. The other 50% is that back offices deal with this request that update the information, because otherwise this would not be successful. This is a practical case, and we will analyze whether this was a successful case in 6 months on. The presentation is available for you to download with all the information. I don't know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we're done. Thank you very much.